the launch of Poems from the Midnight. Thank you. Thank you. Basically, it's the culmination of 3 years of solid writing for me. I've shut myself away for 3 years and I wrote constantly. I haven't been on a date, a holiday or anything for 3 years. I've sat there and written. But it's been all worth it because now I've got the book, Poems from the Midnight. Usually we have the music stand up with the set on there, but tonight I thought I'll read from the book. Now, of course, people have bought the book, so I'm not going to stand saying, if you turn to page 30, you'll find the first poem. But I hope you enjoy the book. It's I have written a thing at the beginning, which I'll just read to you, because it's the foreword of the book. It's the preface. Sorry, the preface of the book. But first and foremost, thank you for reading these odes. There's a lot of sweat and blood involved and tears by the bucket load. My heart and soul is in here too, as is my subconscious brain, as is every memory I have. But the poet must know of joy and of pain. So as you peruse my humble words, I pray you take something away. Maybe a snippet to make you smile, or a thought to brighten your day. Either way, I'd like to say thank you for buying this book. It contains my life experience. 3 whole years it took. Please keep me by your bedside, not in some dusty old case, and I will be there to nip into when you need a moment of grace. Think of me as a desert isle where you can be alone. We'll maybe share a thought or two, maybe some seeds will be sown. But mostly, I hope you're entertained, away from the daily grind, as I share with you the fripperies of my bipolar mind. I hope it holds some meaning for you, and that it passes your time. I also hope you find value for your $7.99. Thank you. I also have another reason to celebrate today, because I went to get a camera down my throat yesterday. I've been terribly hoarse for 2 months. So fortunately there's nothing actually physically wrong with me, which I'm made up about. But I have still got some laryngitis, so I'll be sipping water, and if my voice goes, you have to bear with me. Yeah, do you like the outfit? It's good, isn't it? Yeah. I love charity shops, mate. I live in charity shops. Anybody else live in charity shops? Yeah, fantastic places to go. You know what I mean? This is a poem called Charity Begins at Home. I'm a terror for Ted Baker shirts and Italian tailored suits. I love the feel of a smooth silk scarf and old Doc Marten boots. Braces and belts and t-shirts and jeans and hats of all shapes and sizes. I've cleaned out every charity shop from Dundee to Devizes. I've never spent more than 20 quid on any particular item. I don't take friends the same build as me in case I have to fight them. For bargains are a serious matter, not to be taken lightly. It's no good buying the first thing you see, then finding it fits too tightly. Rather, be patient. It always pays off. If not today, then tomorrow. Don't be deterred if your joy is deferred. Don't suffer from retail sorrow. For somewhere out there on the rails, a gem is hiding away. It's made to measure for business or pleasure with no more than a tenner to pay. So put aside your prejudice about wearing pre-loved clothes. The alternative is the high street and paying through the nose. Save yourself a bob or two. The clothes are always clean. You can look them about inside and out. You don't have to look dowdy and mean. You can buy a swishy outfit, designer label stuff. You know the sort you see in the shops when you haven't got enough. It makes perfect sense to save on the pence in these days of hardship and trial. Take it from me, a charity spree has got all others beat by a mile. Thank you. Of course, I'm a great fan of Aldi. Aldi's a great shop. Does anybody else shop in Aldi?
Yeah!
Isn't it fantastic?
I'm B&M.
I'm B&M.
And Home and Bargain.
And Home and Bargain. And why not?
Listen,
And why not? But I went in yesterday, I was in a bit of a hurry yesterday, and I shouldn't really go into these supermarkets when I'm in a hurry, because this is what tends to happen. This is called basket case. It was exactly the situation I was trying to avoid, and now I have an overstuffed hand basket, and I'm feeling most annoyed. I should have taken a trolley, but I couldn't find £1, so I went and got a hand basket. Now I'm dragging it around. There's £5 of spuds and a loaf in there, and I haven't yet got to the cheese. I bypassed the section of the special selection, and the basket's now down by my knees. In with the grapes and the rapeseed oil, in with the banana and apple, in with the milk and the yoghurt and brie. Now I'm really starting to grapple. Only 2 more aisles to go, and I feel I'm sinking under. I don't even think I could fit in a bag of Golden Wonder. How I managed with the kitchen roll is anybody's guess. I have to admit it's all gone to bits in a brie and banana mess. So next time I'm out shopping and I'm tempted to think small, I'll make sure I have £1 in my hand, or I'm buying nothing at all. For baskets are deceiving, they fill up in a trice. Next time I'll take a trolley, which will be jolly nice. Thank you. I'm going to play our first song of the evening, which is a tune of mine called Dancing Shoes. This is the first singing today I've actually done for 2 months, so you know when there's something not quite right and you're frightened to carry on with it just in case you're doing more harm than good. Well, that was me.
Table.
Yeah?
Nothing's changed.
Organisational skills, zilch. There's a touch of romance in the air tonight. We've run our course, hey, there's no need to fight. Just to recapture a moment of it all. Maybe we could both go down the mission hall. There's no strings on the line. I say one more time, there's no way I can fade out of Right. Well, most of us are Scousers in here tonight. Most of us are sort of a certain age, I suppose. But yeah, the way the young Scousers speak now, it's a bit of a different way. This is called the kidder conversation. Who's the keeper of the flame? Who's got the light there, la? We've got a bit of a butt end here, but it won't go very far. You're welcome, of course, to have a drag. You're welcome to have a blow.
Oh, hey, lad, go and sit on that bifter. I've got me pride, you know. Don't go giving me the soggy end. I don't want that near me lips. You rubbed it off your Vinny, and he pulls off the tips.
All right, dear crying ass. Here, it's your turn now. Don't say I never give you nothing. Hey, what's with the sweaty brow?
Well, it's made me feel a little bit sick. The end's wet, it's falling apart.
Well, get it down your pipe and stop behaving like a tart.
Yeah, the thing has gone right out.
Give us your lighter lid.
All right, I've got the light. I rubbed it off our kid.
And so the conversation goes. I'll listen in disbelief. Are these the newborn Scousers with spanners in place of teeth? It's like a foreign language in a foreign land.
He's right there, lad.
I don't know, because I don't understand. Take me back once more, I beg. I'm 20th century Scouse. I'm left behind in these changing times by people who've got no nous. They've lost the accent, exceedingly rare, and replaced it with a strange little voice. I'm afraid I'm old school Liverpool, and that I remain by choice. Thank you. Well, this next poem is one of those mindfulness things where mindfulness has been great for me this week, because I've been thinking about this thing that I had yesterday, and I thought, well, if there's something horribly wrong and I can't do my poems and my songs, what will I do? And also no avail thinking like that, because everything was great. So this one's called The Big Bag of Yesterday. The last thing I put down last night was a big bag of yesterday. It was hard to sleep with it on my back, so on the floor it had to stay. As much as I tried to close my eyes, my attention was drawn away to that heavy heap beside the bed, a big bag of yesterday. I emptied it onto the mat. My angry words fell out, as did thoughts I shouldn't have had, as did fear and doubt. I tried to put them all back in to deal with on the morrow. It was then I realised the bag contained much sorrow. Better to leave it open and let it drain away than face it again tomorrow, that big bag of yesterday. Today I stepped with confidence, light of shoulder and mind. I waved to the big bag of yesterday as I left it far behind. Thank you. This next poem, I did at your wedding, Simon. This is Mr. Simon Lomax. Please welcome on stage Mr. Simon Lomax. Without whom, etc., etc., etc. I love him to bits. I would be stuck without him. He sets all the gear up and takes it all down and plays piano and sings and plays flute and guitar and ukulele and everything. Gift rock Multins, it used to say in the 70s on the cards. This is called Backpack. Life requires a backpack filled with the necessary tools. Glue to mend a broken heart. A hammer to break the rules. A spirit level for obvious reasons. A sextant to steer by the stars. A saw to cut away the past and remove the iron bars. For sometimes we're imprisoned in cages we've designed. We need a good old jemmy bar to open up the mind. Also, have a pencil to jot down new ideas. And don't forget a rubber to erase your worries and fears. It pays to carry a compass so that your feet may tread only, ever, always on your path ahead. Finally, a match you'll need to set your soul alight, to shine out in the darkness and brighten up the night. For life's a hard and rocky road where the lesson comes after the test. If we have a trusty backpack, we can be considered blessed. Thank you. Anyone who likes golf? Any golfers in tonight?
Maybe.
Bill? Oh, Bill's in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. This book has been made possible. My dream's been made to come true by this man here, Mr. Bill Evans. Stand up, Bill. Take a little bow, please. I just said to Bill what I wanted, and Bill said, right, I'll do that for you, mate. And here is Poems from the Midnight. Fantastic. So Bill plays golf. So I don't. So this is called golf. I've never got the game of golf. I stand beside Mark Twain. It's a good walk wasted to my unappreciative brain. Standing on the fairway, slicing at the ball, must be someone's cup of tea, but it's not mine at all. I'd rather balance on a wave in the early morning sun, or race a horse along a beach than claim a hole in one. I find the whole thing too sedate, not death-defying enough. I'd rather have my balls in my mouth than lose them in the rough. Forgive my obvious ignorance, but I barely see the point of whacking a ball around the field and knocking myself out of joint. Each to their own, quite rightly so, that's ethically sound. But understand if I don't join you next time you play around. Of course, I always start the day the same old way, with porridge. Because it's a fantastic way of starting the day, isn't it? Anybody else start their day with porridge? Be proud, be loud. No? Porridge, Scotland's breakfast dish. Set it up for the day. Walter Scott and Robbie Burns were sustained this way. Even William Wallace, prior to his death, would have asked for porridge while he still had breath. It sticketh to the sides and more, and fills the hungry tongue. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It's how life's race is run. It's healthier than a fry-up, and does the insides more good than greasy meat and runny eggs and puddings of pig's blood. Grown in the earth and harvested, packaged and sold on the shelves. It is the greatest morning gift we can give ourselves. 3 minutes with milk in the microwave. You can make it savoury or sweet. Add honey, salt or golden syrup. Then take up your spoon and eat. It's a quick and easy recipe and can be made with relatively no pain. Once you've fallen for its taste, you'll have it again and again. Porridge then, the answer to all. The dietary heaven. If asked to rate it after 10, I'd have to say 11. Thank you. This one's quite I write a lot about mental health issues because I have bipolar disorder, which I'm quite open about, and people do sort of write to me with telling me they have something similar, or they suffer with depression, because it's 1 in 4 people do actually suffer with a mental health issue these days, of course. So this poem is called The Beautiful Madness. She sat and cried for the beautiful madness of her youth, for days of fairgrounds and rowing boats and innocence, for days when it was so warm no one wore coats, not even policemen. But that was then. That was then. Oh, that was when. Oh, to have those times again, before the winds blew too cold, before the days of growing old, hair now silver turned from gold. She sipped from the chalice of memory, sepia tinted and ripped apart, leaving ragged edges hanging from her heart. the heart which gave her strength to dance, and the foolishness of first romance, the handsome suitor, the game of chance, the game of chance. Oh, isn't that life? She would have remained a wife had she not suffered mental strife, which led to a changing in her ways, when the husband, in search of better days, left her as the leaves were turning brown. Now it is winter, and her snow hair has grown thin. She keeps loose change in a biscuit tin to give to the poor, should they knock on her door. But nobody knocks there anymore. Yet the thing she misses most, in truth, is the beautiful madness of her youth. We're going to do another little song. This one's Radio Goodbye, isn't it? This song was I wrote when I was 20, which is really years ago.
How many?
Really, years ago. We actually got our first record deal on the strength of this song. But this is Radio Goodbye, sort of 2018. Okay. Everyone's looking at you now, so. 2, 3, 4. Radio Goodbye. I'll play the request for once again, and you can cry yourself. Is he gone? Left you for somebody new? Turntable troubles, name but a few. Headphone heartaches, waiting for you. Another card, another mischief on its way. He's a guy who wants to say She said her name was Magenta. Her hair was flaming red. She ignored the signals I sent her, so I leaned toward discourse instead. She told me she was Capricorn and that her mother was Greek. I couldn't help but notice the softness of her cheek. The daylight hours in which she lived were blessed by the sound of her voice, which lilted freely on the air, freedom being her choice. She had that cool bohemian look, her eyes as green as grass. I found myself intoxicated and hoped the moment would pass. But she was a visitor to this world. The universe was her home. She said she liked to travel and that she travelled alone. Her lips as red as poinsettia broke into a smile. She laughed the laugh of children who remain forever wild. I'll never forget Magenta, with her hair of flaming red, but she wasn't quite like anybody else who dreamed their dreams in bed. She lived a life of adventure, with great swashbuckling style, that rarity of nature, the girl with the poinsettia smile. Of course, I don't drive anymore. Largely because I keep falling asleep at the wheel. But when I did drive, my thing was on a lot of motorways up and down the country to different venues and stuff like that. And every time I get on a motorway, I have one pet hate, and this is it. Nothing to the right of them. Nothing to the left of them. Still, they insist to remain sat at 60 miles per hour, those hoggers of the middle lane. They've obviously paid the road tax and think they have a choice. 2 and 3 are overtaking lanes. I apologise for raising my voice. I have to ask what it is with you that you need to be in the middle. It's something I don't understand, an enigmatic riddle. You're clogging up the motorway with your need to take up space, and every car behind you holds an angry driver's face. It is extremely poor driving, forcing souls to undertake dangerous manoeuvres, foot hovering on the brake. Get into the inside lane if you're trundling along, and check up on your highway code, because what you're doing is wrong. Oh, but it's very warm up here. So I don't drive anymore, sadly, but that's the way it is. But I do take the train a lot. So this poem is called "The Train into Town." The train was full of commuters on the journey into town. I was fortunate to be on the thing, let alone be sitting down. People were stood up like sardines in a giant moving tin, hanging on the straps above, silent in their skin. The woman across the way from me was reading a book on marriage. Another tried to calm a child further on up the carriage. I was struggling with 17 across, deviant Croatian. I could feel him breathing down my neck as we pulled into the station. "I think you'll find that raincoat," he said with smug little grin. One day I thought he'll pick the wrong sort and someone will do him in. The ticket inspector had started their rounds. I took mine from my pocket. A gang of youths had told untruths and shot off like a rocket. A motley crew of passengers we were on the 8:15, all bundled together for half an hour. It was like a horrible dream. It gave me joy to take the air when I had climbed above ground. I won't be in such a hurry next time to take the train into town. Because wherever you go now, wherever you go, it is the zombie invasion, isn't it? Everyone's walking around. Oh, sorry. Oh, that great one. Whoa, right into the the fountain. Did you see that one on YouTube? But this is called the zombie invasion. I fear not the zombie invasion. It's here right now in every nation. People walking around in droves, staring at phones stuck under the nose. You never get a good day from them, those text-obsessed women and YouTube mad men. It's pointless trying to converse. You end up being ignored, and what's worse, they're not even listening. You're wasting your breath. You go away, get near a death without a word being passed between you and the person with the head in the screen. It's a killer of conversation, which I regard an abomination. People are losing the art of speech as long as their phone's within easy reach. It really is a maddening bore watching someone play with their iPhone 4. Put the damn thing down. How rude. I am with your nerve imbued. I'm not by nature a violent man, so let me warn you while I can. If anyone plays with a phone in future, they'll be going home in need of a suture. Thank you. This is quite a reflective one. I know it's been quite warm today, hasn't it? And yesterday. But it wasn't when I wrote this poem. This is called Summer's End. When the last over of summer has been bowled and a chill hangs on the evening air, we throw on our jumpers to keep out the cold and greet September with mild despair. Goodbye to sizzling barbecue days and garden conversations, planning camping holidays and structural alterations. Goodbye to strawberries and cream on the lawn. Goodbye to morning haze. Hello to autumn in customary brown. Farewell to longer days. And so the seasons turn again, and nature calls her tune. A gentle rain begins to fall beneath the harvest moon. Thank you. Because as we know, life passes us by if we're not careful. It just one day comes, then it goes, another day comes, and then it goes. And this is something I'd like to let you into. It's called Life's Too Short. Life's too short to wear polyester. Or use inferior margarine that's a molecule away from plastic. Make butter a choice, not a dream. Get rid of the rusty razor blade that rips your face away. Treat yourself to a new one. It's how you start your day. Be kind to yourself and expect the best. Wear your favourite hat. To hell with what the others think. Life's too short for all that. Be as you can be. There's no time like the now. Don't reach the end of your allotted span wondering why and how. Seek your higher purpose. Pick up your dreams from the mat. Don't spend your days in self-pity. Life's too short for all that. Don't waste your time complaining. Don't let your bubble go flat. And get rid of the polyester. Life's too short for all that. This put the black somewhere. It's alright, I'm just rooting for a plectrum. There we are. There we are, there it is, hides away. Very nice. Drive your fast car, baby, to the edge of infinity. But when you get guns out now, baby, you can always be with me. The ship sails on the horizon, and your dreams are
eternity. If I could make you see, you'll always be. If I could make you see, you'll always be with me. You can always be with me. My heart is yours for eternity. If I could make you see, you'll always be with me. If I could make you see, you'll always be with me. If I could make you see. Thank you. Thanks very much. Cheers, mate. And that, of course, featured Mr. Simon Lomax on piano. Wonderful, wonderful stuff, mate. I think I loved her more than she liked me. She told me it was over as she poured a cup of tea and dripped essential oils on a bowl of potpourri. I thought it was important to share her deepest thoughts. She seemed to be more bothered about the shoes she bought, while I, in silence, hovered. We never ever fought. It presented an awkward moment, her mother's untimely call. She didn't flinch, not even an inch, as she hoovered down the hall, picking up the remains of my dreams till there was nothing at all. I think I loved her more than she liked me. I came to that conclusion as I handed back the key and made my way out for the very last time, a page in her history. Thank you. This is a battle. It's a bloody battle. There's the music downstairs. I can tell you it's a battle. This is a battleground. It's not a stage. This is a poem called Pep Talk. I sat and talked with Woody for half an hour or more. He really had me going until I showed him the door. Next up came No Confidence, who made me want to die. I was almost in submission when acceptance caught my eye. Whatever is to be, will be, he whispered in my ear. All this worry won't change a thing, neither will living in fear. Live for today, not tomorrow. As for yesterday, it's in the past. Nothing we can do can change that now. So stop going nowhere fast. Hold yourself in the moment. Be true to yourself in your way. Be everything you've dreamed of. This second, this minute, this day.
For time in haste is marching on, and quickly comes the hour. So make the most of all you have. Free up your inner power. Promise yourself you'll never again be stressed near half to death. Relax your shoulders and your arms. Beware of your measured breath. Take the time in the day to be. Slow your hurried pace, and may you feel the benefits of nature's wondrous grace. Thank you. Of course, this next poem is dedicated to those battle-worn, hardy creatures called Singletons. People who live on their own. You know, they have to do their own ironing, make their own cup of tea, everything. You know, none of this. Do you want a cup of tea? I say that to myself. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah, I'll have a cup of tea. I talk to myself a lot. You can always tell the Singletons. They're still awake at night, long after the lovers have curled in their delight. They have the bathroom to themselves and never have to queue. No need for strange contortions whenever they need the loo. They used to cook in meals for one and go to places alone. They talk with friends for hours and hours on the telephone. They always use small trolleys and usually pay with cash. Whenever there's a soul in need, they have a place to crash. Where would we be without Singletons? They don't walk round starry-eyed. They always have a game plan to buffer love denied. Thank you. Of course, sometimes you have to realise, well, I have to realise that I'm not a young man. I'm in the 21st century. I've been dragged kicking and screaming into the 21st century. I'll have you know. I belong in another century. Back in the 70s usually. Brute, denim, soap on a rope. These are the things which gave us hope. High karate, Paco Rabanne. We knew how to live it, man. Saturday kicks, and teenage flicks, going to my cousins on the 46. Weekend work in a fashion boutique. Make a few quid to get me through the week. I'm a child of the 70s, fearless and bold. The 21st century leaves me cold. I wouldn't like to be young again. In tomorrow's world, it'd be a sin. I'm a rock and roll dinosaur, out in the cold. Too cold to thaw. Frozen in time when I got the girl and made her mine. Sad to say, she went on her way, and my emotions on display. Cried and cried all the way home. How would I walk through the world alone? But chicken in a basket cured the down. That and a few cans of Newcastle Brown. Every generation thinks theirs is the best, but I tell you now, we were totally blessed. The finest music from a golden age, when tie-dye and flares were all the rage. Now I feel like a grumpy old man, watching all around me go down the pan. I'll stop, and I'll go on no more. Yours, the rock and roll dinosaur. Thank you. Of course, a lot of my poems have got message. Why am I sound like I'm in a wind tunnel?
Mike's rubbing against the cheek.
Hey. No. Wardrobe. Thank you, mate. Can I have my nose done, please? Nose. Yeah, a lot of my poems have got a message. This is called The Man in the Street. The man in the street with a dog at his feet and the paper cup in his hand is blankly staring forward. This isn't what he had planned. A troubled youth, no longer of tooth, his beard unkempt and dirty. His acquaintances mutter he's a bit of a nutter, he'll probably be dead by 30. I felt a great affinity, as if by strange divinity. For that man could have been me, or any of the hundreds of others on their weekend shopping spree. The man in the street with the dog at his feet looked weary and forlorn. He told me that at moments he wishes he'd never been born. There's a man in the street with torn shoes on his feet in each and every town. All of them had lives before misfortune brought them down. Some are alcoholic, many are mentally ill. Receiving no medication can be the bitterest pill. So, if you meet the man in the street, at least pass the time of day. It could be you with the hole in your shoe and your dog sleeping soundly away. Thank you. This is a little poem called I'm Following the Advice of Poets. You normally do the show from a file at the front, and I do a lot of different ones. But tonight I thought, well, it's nice to read from my own book for the first time. To read from my own book. So this is called, thank you, I'm Following the Advice of Poets. Robert Frost, on the road not taken, I think I'm lost. I did as you and beat my path, now I'm as tormented as Sylvia Plath. I shouldn't have given the heart Willie Yeats sound advice, but alas, too late. I am, as John Clare knows, the self-consumer of my woes. George Gordon Byron, my thinking's not right. Shall I go no more a-roving so late into the night? Such wisdom from these great minds fall. Which should I follow? None or all? As each presents a different illusion, needs must I come to my own conclusion. Life can be measured as a garden flower. We seed, we blossom, then gone is our hour. If in that time our purpose we find, we achieve nirvana, peace of mind. For surely this must be our goal, to have that peace in mind and soul. What other gain is our employ, if not to fill the world with joy? So, Mr. Shakespeare, I'll listen to you. For to thine own self, one must be true. And to all of the poets who offer advice on life and love and dealing with mice, I have to conclude but this to say, I'm better going my own sweet way. Brian, I bet you don't serve tea downstairs, do you? No. See, Brian and I, we drink tea. It's 10 years since I've drunk alcohol. So tea is the best drink of the day. So much so that I've written a little poem called In Praise of Tea.
Haven't, have you? What's it about? About golf.
By the power invested in me, I'd like to praise the cup of tea. Not that coffee doesn't have its place. It can sober you up and save you disgrace. Though, on a morning's early rise, there is but one sight for sore eyes. The caddy in its glory stands, containing leaves from foreign lands, to breathe the heady scent, the aroma of the Orient. Soon the tea is in the cup, the day is suddenly looking up. Sugared and hot, boiling hot, brewed up in a china pot. The working man has lived by its code, as I have in my own abode. And of an evening settled down, if the day has been a thorny crown and life has thrown lemons, let it be. Treat yourself to a biscuit maybe. Let yourself go drifting by, kick off your shoes, loosen your tie. Take a moment to be free. It's amazing the power of a cup of tea. Thank you. This is a song called Tears in Your Ocean, which a song I wrote quite a while ago for a young lady who's perfectly happy now. just be hearing, be yarring. There it comes. Okay. 3, 4. There we are. Got a couple of new poems. Which is settle down, come on, settle down. This is a poem about, I do have a battle on my hands every day with nicotine. Nicotine. Damn you, dreadful nicotine. You're a monkey on my back. If only I could shake you off after one more pack. You cost a fortune, so you do. You make me clothes smell bad. You're going to be the end of me, like you did for me poor old dad. I'd like to taste my food again. I'd like to smell the flowers. But I've done you without you once before. It was a terrible 24 hours. I wake up every brand new morning with quitting on my brain. But then I make a cup of tea and the pattern remains the same. I will beat you, nicotine. I will indeed one day. You're as false a friend as alcohol. You're a devil in your way. I'll kick your butt to kingdom come. But I'm a warrior and a fighter. I feel better now that's off my chest. I've finished. Where's my lighter? You see, I know, because I've just got to change my mindset on it. I've got to change my mindset on smoking. That's what it is. This is a poem called Change. Would you like to change your mind? The question's often asked. How deeply we consider it almost an impossible task. We can't change how we've been born, but we can change how we think. Nothing is ever set in stone or written in indelible ink. Too often we play the victim to circumstances past. We blame our situation and how our lives are cast. We wallow in self-pity and curse our wretched bones. We beat ourselves up night and day with constant sighs and moans. What if this, and what if that, and why me, it's not fair. Imagine how life would suddenly improve if those subtle thoughts disappeared in thin air. Imagine how free our heads would be if we shrugged those illusions away and employed the great and subtle art of detaching from yesterday. There are things we can't change which are out of our control. Leave them be and learn from them, for learning is good for the soul. And so, I wish you a positive day, and if peace is hard to find, remember, sometimes all it takes is a little change of mind. Thank you. I don't have pets anymore, but I had a little bit of a thought about, this is for Alex and Joe, because it's called Lobster. And they got married this week. I was the best man, Alex and Joe. And lobsters make for life, apparently. I have a small pet lobster. I take him for a walk. He never pulls or slips his lead, and I swear I heard him talk. He doesn't wee against a tree, and I haven't seen him bite. He never jumps up at anyone or gives someone a fright. He's very economical when it comes to feeding time. A little portion of plankton seems to do just fine. All in all, we cut a dash strolling down the street. Though folk are cruel and unkind, say he's good enough to eat. I try to cover his ears up to save him from upset. I bet there's not many others who have a lobster as a pet. I thought I'd name him Kevin, after a cousin of mine. He sort of takes after our Kevin in the way he spends his time. He likes to float about all day doing nothing much. It's great to watch him in his tank, obviously having a ball, even though he's lying there doing nothing much at all. So if you're looking for a pet and you're not sure what to do, look no further than a lobster. Better still, why not have two? Is it you who's hiding behind the mask? You look so concealed, I'm afraid to ask. You never give a thing away, and so we go on with the play. Weather's awful, the flu bug's rife. We neatly avoid the subject of life. Because that would mean you opening up, and you'd rather smash your favourite cup than let me see you as you are, exposing every single scar. But when those scars are out on view, that's when you're being the real you. For beauty is found only in truth. That much holds for adults and youth. If the mask should ever slip, and the honest truth falls from your lip, I'm sure it would a picture paint of who you are without constraint. Thanks very much. We're getting near the end of this little... But I didn't do it as a full show because we've had... by the way, can you please put your hands together for Mr. Mick Moon? Wasn't he absolutely brilliant? Absolutely fantastic. So if you want, if Mick does weddings, bar mitzvahs, funerals, christenings, everything. So do not at the same time. But not at the same time. So do get his number before you go. I have in my house what I call, there's two of them actually, a forgotten drawer. You know that drawer that you throw everything in? And you can't remember what's in there, you open it, and everything's still in the same position every time you open it, and you shut it again. Will somebody tell me what I need this thing for, and why it still lives in the forgotten drawer? Full of instructions for now defunct poems, pieces of string and old incense cones. Manuals for this, manuals for that, a photo of someone in a blue and white hat. Nails I was keeping just in case. Glue tacked together to save some space. A rusty old compass in case I get lost, now stuck to the blue tack, its maker embossed. A watch that stopped sometime at 3:15. A leaflet that boasts, get your loft lamp for free. A small piece of wood that wedged open a door. Will somebody tell me what I need this thing for? Thank you. Okay, we're just about at the end of this show. So I'd like to finish with an autobiographical poem, which is called La Vie de Bohème. So, oh yeah. We have this communication thing, Sam and I, where we can actually communicate without speaking. Unfortunately, I never know what he's not talking about. I'd like to leave you with this poem. This is called La Vie de Bohème, the Bohemian life. None on earth is richer than I, for the morning and night are mine. All things conspire between the sun and stars to create the world sublime. For I have built up treasures beyond material store, to live the life of the errant king in the palace of the poor. I subject to the destitute, the broken and the lost. And if I have but words to spare, I give them without cost. For words are all my treasury. I care not for coin or fame. Such is the poet's lot, my dear. Such is his spiritual gain. None on earth is richer than I, for blessings and wonder are mine. I yearn not for the kingly crown of gold and jewels twined. Enchanted are those moments of heart and soul and mind, as I set sail for Byzantium, eternal like Endymion in rambling childish rhyme. Thank you. This is, we'll finish off with one of my tunes called Broken Boy. One, two, three, four. you. Okay. Go one more then. This is called Good Night, LA. Thanks very much. You've been absolutely lovely. I'll still be here, sort of signing some books. If anyone hasn't yet got a book, I'll still be here for the end. Yeah. 2, 3, 4. My head spins round and round, the light of the candles What? Yeah, okay. We've just been asked for an encore, so we'll leave one more tune. Just need to knock a little bit of... This is called Trail of Tears. Heading up on so low. Find you now an answer to a question never asked. Take the red man's heritage, steal the red man's past. Run 'em off the open plains from the buffalo and deer. Send 'em off in the dead of night, a long trail of tears.
Trail of tears.